I don't think that, you know, they say that it's just a dog, and she was not just a dog. She was my baby. And it's going to be hard. We're still getting used to it. It feels weird in the house. My other Shih Tzu, my male, is still not really, he's still going a bit depressed. He's, you know, so I'm trying to give him all my love, and
Yeah.
hopefully, and to my other cats and to my two cats. So hopefully, you know, it'll help ease the pain, but it's been hard. It's been
Yeah.
hard.
Yeah. And, no matter what the loss is, your fur child is, equivalent or even more equivalent to a human loss. It really impacts us. And it has that you're rebounding, you're getting, back into your life. You've had this time to, sort of sit with the sadness, not erase the sadness, so to speak. It's a human condition, and yeah, it's really uncomfortable, and it really, really hurts, and it feels like a little bit of a setback. But the most important thing is to really gradually start moving a little bit, forward.
Hmm.
Yeah, we feel that loss, and to be allowed that permission, right, to really feel into that. So I created something for you. Pepper's auntie Flo, she writes a lot of poetry for the fur kids in the West End neighborhood, and over the past year or so, Pepper's lost some friends. And so his auntie wrote a very beautiful, special poem. And so I wanted to memorialize and take a moment to just really treasure your relationship with your precious Chloe. So I created this for you. Are you ready?
Okay.
So hold on, close your eyes so I can bring it up. Hold on just a second. I'll tell you when. Okay, open your eyes.
Oh.
So, in memory of Chloe and Auntie Flo's poem that she has created for his friends that have, crossed the Rainbow Bridge, I'm going to read it. I did this for memory of Chloe. You'll always have this. You'll always have this video. But for anyone this year who has lost a loved one, this poem just speaks, I think, just volumes and is so heartfelt. I will not fret. I miss you all every day. Your spirit is here, and I'm okay. You're at the Rainbow Bridge. I'm at the Rainbow Bridge running free. That's the way it should be. We are never really apart, as you are always in my heart. And when I'm sad, I look to the sky and I let out a woof and a howl. It's never goodbye. So it's for you and Chloe, from me
Wow.
and Pepper and Auntie Flo.
Thank you. That was really touching.
Yeah. And there's a special element in here, I think, that you might notice that I put because of, conversations that I'm having with you. And, that's the dolphins. I know that this is something that, recently you've had some really big aha moments in the last couple months. And so I put this dolphin image in here, and I was hoping that maybe you might share a little bit about, the mermaids and the dolphins and the transformation that you've kind of had in the last couple 6 weeks, and how it's pointing you in a really fabulous new direction of what you're thinking about, where you want to go, what you're really, really passionate about, and your message, and how you're looking at showing up and helping other people. And I was hoping you would illuminate that a little bit for us today.
Wow. Um, how did I get here? Well, the last 6 weeks I've been doing a lot of internal work, personal
Yeah.
growth work that I started 7 years ago. And when I started, I really didn't know what I was getting myself into. Honestly, I I started it because I was desperate. I was having a lot of medical issues that nobody could help me with, and basically I was told I was on my own, and that I had to find my own answers. Um, the last 6 weeks, I was I'm a lot into energy work and energy healing, and trying to find alternative ways other than taking pills and following traditional ways, which I'm not very traditional. I'm not somebody that conforms very well. And when somebody tells me that I can't do something and this is the way you have to do it, my first thing is like, why can't I do it? And why am I supposed to listen to what you're saying?
Yeah.
Um, I realized by doing this work that there's a lot of archetypal work that is involved in some of the things that I was doing. And it turns out that my archetypes are the dolphin and the mermaid.
I just
The
love
dolphin,
that, Anna. Just wait, hold that for just a moment so we can absorb it, because, I know where you're gonna, lead us, but when we're talking about archetypes, right? It's these essences, these spirit essences. Sorry, I got to change my position here. I'm a little bit pretzeled. Is that they give us this information. They help us have a little bit understanding of how we want to lead and have others sort of see us in the world. And so, that feeling of the mermaid and the dolphin archetype, and you coming to that, I just want to just hold that for just a moment as you then go on to explain how that happened. So, okay, go ahead.
I use and I know it's not something that's it's only starting to go now. Energy medicine and energy psychology and EFT tapping. And when I first started this, I thought this is completely nuts, and I must be out of my mind. I look so stupid doing this, but it really did help me. And by doing this work, I turned out that, sorry, my little baby, as you can hear, he's barking. As turned out that my spirit animal or my archetypes are the mermaid and the dolphin. Dolphin turns out that is a very free spirit, but is very connected and is very human and is a very intelligent animal. And the dolphin is the only one that really, really is most connected to us humans and has a spirit, but is very caring. The dolphin is very confident, very strong, and will protect till like no matter what. The mermaid, on the other hand, which when I thought mermaid, me a mermaid, I was like, what? And it turns out that the mermaid is very rebellious, very unique. The mermaid will get her way no matter what. She knows what she wants, goes after it, is very seductive, is very very confident, very rebellious, very out of the box, very over the top, does not follow rules very well, lives by her own rules. And it's when I thought, okay, yeah, and very controversial.
Yeah.
Will not adhere to anybody's rules, will do things her way, is very free, cannot be pinned down, and cannot be tied down.
Yeah.
And when she loves with all her heart, but when she hates with all her heart. And it was like, it took me a while to let this sink in. I was like, I don't see myself as a mermaid. But then when I really went into it, oh my God, it was, and I'm just giving you the gist of it because the details of it really fit me.
Yeah.
And so this is where I thought, oh my God, yeah, this is me. And this is why my whole life I thought I didn't fit in anywhere.
That's right.
I was not like other women, and I'm not, and I'm very rebellious, I'm very defiant, I'm very pig-headed, and I'm very independent. And I'm somebody that somehow I always, it sounds bad, but I always get what I want.
Sure. And there are many ways, right, for us to get what we need and what we want. And you hit on something that is so important, is that every day we often really struggle with getting what we want. And so when we can identify with our strengths, our archetype, and really lean in with that, then we can lean in with more permission, greater ease. Like, oh, okay, this is my superpower. This is my strategy of, getting fulfilled, getting my desires met, getting my needs met. And I think that this is such a powerful message, Anna.
And you know what? It is, but it's scary at the same time.
Of course.
Because once you've opened that box, you can't go back. And
Yeah.
you can't pretend now that you're not as powerful as you really are. You can't hide anymore and say, oh, well, poor me, I'm broken, or because there's no going back now. Because I mean, once you know your superpower, as you say, it's very hard to pretend anymore.
Yeah.
Because before, I used to think, well, there's something wrong with me because, nobody is like me. Nobody behaves like I do. Nobody speaks like I do. Nobody thinks like I do. What's wrong with me? Like, why? What, and I was always trying, I wouldn't trust that at times. So I would bend. But now that I know that that's who I am, and talking to people that have known me, and when I bring this up and they're like, yeah, and we've known it all along. It's just that you're so pig-headed that you don't listen. But like, you don't see it in yourself. You're afraid to see it because let's face it, strong women are not, appreciated.
Well, and sometimes in society, if we think about like our tribal roots and society acceptance of women just in their place on this planet over the last several centuries, women who were outspoken, what happened to them? They were burned at the stake. I mean, you weren't allowed to have a voice. And so I think that comes down definitely in our DNA. And so, now that you are getting to be having that permission to have that really strong voice and know that, yeah, I'm not always going to follow the rules or follow what or that box that you want to try to stuff me in. And as you get more and more comfortable and less out of battle, right, with that, how does that make you feel in your own skin when you have that permission?
Oh my God. My whole life, I've always known that I was a rebellious, defiant, little pig-headed, I was a tomboy, huge tomboy. The problem is I always did it in battle. I always did it in your face type of, and I was being always in your face and argumentative, and I would never bow down to anyone. It was always my way or the highway, and I would be angry about it. But I didn't realize that I was still bringing out my strengths, but I was doing it in the shadow, in the dark side, in the defense side. Yeah. And people would call me a bitch. Well, yeah, and I have this little thing. I remember in my corporate world, my employees used to call me a bitch. And I used to say, yeah, you're right, because I used to turn around and say, sure I am. I'm a babe in total control of myself. Of course I'm a bitch. Yeah. So, but they didn't like it, But strong women are considered bitches. Yeah. Like it or not, we were considered bitches. We were shit disturbers. We're big mouths. Like, why don't you just know your place and stay in your little place? Well, I was always doing it in rebellious form, not realizing that I was still being the powerful me, but I wasn't doing it in a way that was really comfortable for me. Right. And now I realize that people don't trigger me the same way anymore. People don't push my buttons the same way anymore. Now I choose and pick and choose my battles. Yeah. And I've realized that by doing all of this work that, yeah, I might have lost a few battles along the way, but damn, did I win the war. And I won it because now I look at people and think, you know what? Right now, I could choose to rip your head off if I wanted to, but I'm not going to waste my energy or my time. Yeah. So I walk away and I feel, I feel in my body, I feel strong and I feel at peace because all of this had destroyed my health. Yeah. I didn't realize how much not being me destroyed my health. It destroyed my well-being. It destroyed a lot of relationships I had, which I didn't even know. But mainly it almost destroyed me, my mental health, my sanity, if you want, and my physical health.
Right.
Because, and little did I know, I was battling things that I didn't even know up until a few years ago
Right.
that were issues with me. I was battling health issues that nobody believed me, nobody was listening to me, and people were
And this
always
is
dismissing.
this is becoming your platform now,
Mm-hmm.
right? Because, you know, um, your voice carries, a lot of experience, a lot of wisdom, a lot of power. And so many women have, gone through this. And I know in you speaking, with me, that this is becoming your profound message. This is becoming your passion, and leading with this message, so that, people either, just starting out on their pathway, don't have to suffer so much with some of the things that, you incurred in your journey, really, really early on, that blew up a lot of things in your life, so that women or men can, you know squeeze that gap, so that they can live every day as their best day ever, and not wait 40 years.
Yeah.
And
Mm-hmm.
this is going to be a really powerful, I think, platform, that you're going to be leading from. And I'm so excited to see what you're going to create, what your messaging is going to be in the coming weeks and months, as you really embrace and feel, greater permission in this archetype of the mermaid. I think it's incredible. I found a spirit animal card reading for you that I drew of the dolphins, and I thought you might like it. May I share it with you?
Yes, please.
So this is actually from the spirit animal or oracle of Colette Baron Reed. And because I know that the dolphins and the mermaids are, this archetype for you, and you are in, the dolphin talks a little bit about the duality of this and then. And so I thought this was really, meaningful. So dolphin spirit, uh, like her earlier manifestation, is a reminder of duality, as the dolphin is both in body a mammal and a sea creature. So too, dolphin spirit helps us with the duality of the story, this story and that story that occurs simultaneously. So the two truths actually coexist. The story you tell and the other one as well. So the duality of life is present when we are both suffering as well as receiving the blessings and the gifts. Within all of the clouds, we've heard this before, is a silver lining. When we can kind of reflect and redirect what's going on and what's happening, we can see that a situation was both maybe not so great, and also the gifts that come from it. So no relationship is either all good or all bad. And there are qualities of both light and shadow. And so,
Wow.
with this, I thought that, your discovery of your archetype and your voice, and the permission for your voice, the permission for you to lead with those characteristics that are bold, that are sometimes relentless, but not having to be in constant battle, that you can embrace those characteristics, that archetype, without always having to be on the battlefield dressed in full armor.
Yeah, yeah. I've dropped the armor.
Yeah,
That's basically I've been battling this in my head for 40 years, and I finally dropped the armor, and it feels like this incredible weight has been lifted off of me, because
yeah,
now I know that yes, I what I went through um was not fun. It was
no,
painful, it was fun, it was very lonely, very isolating. But at the same time, I realized that the duality of the dolphin is that that's what gave me that strength.
yeah,
And not, I've survived things that I don't think very many people would have survived. I've been told by a lot of my doctors that they still don't even know how I function,
yeah,
because in all intents and purposes, according to the medical industry, I should not be functioning. So they don't
right.
understand
Oh,
how I'm functioning.
and you know
And
what? We may save that for when we circle back again, and do kind of like a little bit of a series. I think that there is, more of a messaging here, that I would like to, share, step by step, some of those things that other people may have experienced, what you're experienced, and kind of begin to tell some of that story with
yeah, that
you.
would be, you know what? Yeah, I would love that. It's not, because I feel like I can't even tell you how I feel. Especially the last 6 weeks, there's been
Mhm.
so many revelations and so many aha moments and so many things of, oh my God. And now I understand why I do this. And now I understand why that happened to me. And I get it now. And things that I used to blame myself for and things I used to hate myself for.
Right.
And I understand now why I reacted to people and people reacted to me.
Sure.
So all of this was just incredibly uplifting, and I can't even tell you. I go outside now, and I actually allow myself to absorb what's outside, feel the ground under my feet. I mean, listen to things that I was never present enough.
Yeah.
I never allowed myself to be present because I wasn't safe in my own body. I wasn't safe in my own head.
Right.
And it's just incredible. And that mermaid and that dolphin together, I think, give me permission, but now I get to say, I told you so. I get to say, I knew all along who I was, what I was, and I told you so. So
Yeah.
I know it sounds kind of cocky, but you
No.
know what? Yeah, I get to say, I told you so. It took me 8 years. It took me 7 years to get here. And the last 7 years have not been fun, have not been all, airy fairy and enlightening. It was
Right.
downright painful. But now I could say, I told you so. And I get to have permission to say that
And you
now.
get to have permission.
That's right.
Absolutely. High five.
High five.
So with that, our parting, kind of parting thought is to, um, think about your strong suits. Think about the things that are your superpowers and how you might be able to lean in with those and not be in battle against them, trying to sometimes stuff yourself into a conformity box for, whatever it is in your life. I think that, Anna, this is such a powerful message, and I'm really looking forward to having us circle back as we explore, more of this story.
So am I. I'm looking forward to this. Thank you for inviting me. This is
Yeah.
incredible.
All right, great. All right, so bye from Boston.
Bye from Montreal. Keep
This
warm,
is
everybody.
this is Polly, creating bulletproofing your attitude armor, living your best day ever, every day, and creating a long-lasting smile. Have a fabulous day.